Alright, so I want to show how you can create these aesthetic AI pages. So if you haven't seen them, there's a bunch of these pages that are popping up. So this is one guy, his name is Plastekpet, and he posts like a lot of these like really weird surreal images and videos. And we got another guy here, his name is Cat Soup. Let me show you how to create something like this. So there's two main platforms that these accounts use. The first one I'm going to show you is Midjourney. So Midjourney is my personal go-to. I use this one all the time for the stuff that I create. And a lot of these accounts use it as well too. So if I just kind of scroll through my feed here, you can see a bunch of different images that I've been working on, and it has that same type of feeling that those accounts had. So I'm going to show you a couple different ways to get this effect. So I'm just going to open up this one, and I'm going to go over here to this bottom right and hit this prompt so you can see everything that's going on here. And I'm going to just break down this image in particular. So that way you can kind of get an understanding of how I kind of structure images or come up with different ideas for things. So I'm going to delete everything else that's in here. So I'm going to delete those, and then I'm just going to only focus on the text prompt right now, right? So it just says a photo of a white, majestic, aquatic creature in the bedroom. So I'm just going to hit enter on that so you can see what it looks like just based only text only. So here's an image that we got, and you can see it looks nothing like the image I just showed you. I could definitely spend more time and say like a cat in the bedroom and just describe the color palette and all that, but that would take too much time. And honestly, a lot of these accounts, they're not using only text prompts. So let me jump back to that image, and I'm going to show you how we can get something a lot more specific. So usually the way I structure these is I actually start with an image first. So a lot of people don't know that with AI, you can actually use images as your prompts. It doesn't just have to be text. So a lot of times I start backwards with an image, and then I add text to it to kind of refine it more. So the image I used here was this photo of a cat that I found online somewhere. If you're looking for like images that you want to use, honestly, just go to Pinterest. This is what I use all the time, and I just kind of find images that I think are cool, and then I kind of build upon the image from there. So now I'm just gonna run it with only the text prompt and then the image, so you can see what that looks like. So there we go. Now we have something that's a little bit more creative. This one you can see kind of looks like there's like fish gills going on here, but still not the same as the other image. But you can see how you can guide it a lot more using both an image prompt and a text prompt. And just to show you how you can throw an image prompt in here, let me just grab something real quick. So I'm just gonna go to this image, right click and hit copy. And if I just go over to the text box here and hit Control V, it pastes it in here, and then you can see that it's in the image prompt section. You could also just right click here and hit paste, or Command V if you're on Mac. So now you can actually do a lot with just only using text prompts and image prompts. So you don't only have to use one image, you could actually use multiple. So let's say if I just use that same image from before and I just paste that in here. Now what this is going to do is it's going to blend these two images together, and then it's also going to add text prompts. So if I just hit enter on this one, so you see we get something a lot more interesting. It is like a painting thing here, but with these you can see it's kind of doing like some weird like mixed media thing, which is pretty cool. So yeah, you can get a lot of interesting results this way. And I think you can add up to 5 images or more, something around those lines. So yeah, you can have a lot of fun just kind of throwing random images in here. Another thing you can do is actually, if you're using more than one image, you can delete the text prompt, and you can only use 2 images. So if I just hit enter on this one, now it's not even using this text prompt up here. It's just only going to blend the 2 images. So there we go. Now we got, again, this like kind of mixed media thing that's going on here, but you can see how it's blending between this image here and then this image. So now if we jump back to this original image, there's actually one more thing you can do, is you can add what's called a style reference. So essentially what a style reference does is it does everything that I explained before, where it, takes the two images or one images, blends it with the prompt and all that, and it applies a style of a particular image to everything. So for this one, this is just an image that I use for a lot of mine. So it's just this random image that I found on Pinterest. I apply that to the style reference, and then now it's kind of adding this own like unique flair to it. So that's a really cool way if you want things to stand out from everything else. Is you add your own style reference. It could be your own or just again an image that you find. And what's cool about this is that you can actually use more than one style reference. So let's say if I want, I'm just gonna use this image again, and I hit Control or Command V on here, and then I can take this image and just drag it over here to the style reference. And now it's going to kind of cross blend between the two. And just for fun, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another image from here and just paste that into the image prompt and just hit enter. So you can see that it's going to blend all this stuff together to make an image. So there we go. We got like some type of weird like mixed media thing, but you can see how it's kind of blending all that stuff together. So that is Midjourney. Again, this is only my personal favorite, but there's also another one that these accounts use. So if I go back to our reference here, so this guy Catsup, he uses another one which is called Sora, which is OpenAI's or ChatGPT's image generator. So if I go to Sora.com and I just go through my library, you can see it has that same feel as this one. So for these are not as aesthetically pleasing as Midjourney. Midjourney is more tailored for that. But for Sora, you can get a lot more accurate prompts and then things just look a lot more crisper. So if I could just break down this image real quick, you can use image references here. So this is just a image reference that I used here. But the cool thing about Sora is that you have a lot more control over the text prompt and it follows it a lot more clearly. So if I just go to this prompt, I just told it to make an image in the same style, use the same color palette, and then I just kind of describe it more. And then you can see it's a lot more accurate as opposed to something like Midjourney, which is going to kind of do its own thing. So, but you can also take images from here. So if I just took this one and again go to this text box and put the Control V, I can ask it to blend between these images. So let me just show you real quick. So there we go. There's the image just to show you again the two references that we used here. So yeah, basically the same thing as the image blending in Midjourney, but just a lot more, I would say, precise and clear. So yeah, it's really just a matter of preference, whichever style you like. I use both of them. So if I jump back to our reference page here, you can see a lot of them post these videos. So I want to show you how you can animate those pictures that you've made now. So the main one that they use is Kling. This is the best one that's out right now. It's the most versatile. So I'm not going to get in too much detail with prompting on here just because that's like a whole another subject. But I would say just keep the prompt simple. So for this one, I just said a guy sitting on the phone. A lot of times you could just do no text prompt for it. It'll just let it do its own thing. So, and then I'm going to show you one more, which is again Sora. Sora also is a video generator as well. So you can animate images. Only difference with Sora is that it's not as good as Kling. So you get a lot more morphing things. But if you're going for something that's a lot more surreal and you want it to like morph and do a lot of sorts of weird stuff, then I would definitely use Sora. So let me just show you like this one I was working on where I know I needed it to have a lot of water elements and stuff. So that's why I use Sora for this. So again, just a matter of your preference. And you could also just blend between both of the generators. So yeah, that's pretty much how these accounts are making their stuff. It's really about finding your own style with it, like choosing what images that you use, and that's how you can stand out. Just because there's like so many of these accounts out there that if you just use like the basic text prompts, then you're not really gonna stand out. You're gonna get kind of, you know, mushed in with all the other AI stuff that's going on here. So if you're serious about making an account like this, I would say, yeah, find your own style just by playing around with different images. And you have to post at least 3 to 5 times a day if you want to see some actual results from it across Instagram and TikTok. So yeah, that's it. Hopefully this was helpful.
Subscribe!